Morning.
Morning.
Morning. How many mornings are we going to do?
Keep going.
Oh, morning. Charlotte is just setting up the watch party on Facebook. Hope you're doing well this bright, sunny Tuesday morning. I'm joined by a girl who is slowly going through Disney Plus, Marvel movie by Marvel movie. We're on. It's Charlotte Dames. How are you today?
I'm good, and I'm joined by a man who seems to take more Zoom calls than have actual conversations. It's Chris James.
I am doing a lot of Zoom at the minute, but we're also joined by a man who will have to go and get changed in a minute because we've worn the same outfit. It's Don. How are you doing, Don?
Hi there, guys. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thanks, mate. Really good. So, just he can't see that I'm wearing the T-shirt that Don gave. He gave us both the T-shirt, didn't he? And Don is sporting the exact same T-shirt. And to be honest, and rather embarrassingly, pulling it off better than me. I'm quite sad about that.
Well, I'm sure he's not pulling off the T-shirt.
Is that
with
situation where you go to a party and somebody's wearing the same dress as you?
I know. It's happened more often than not, mate, to be honest. So I'm trying to avoid it. How are you today, then?
I'm good.
Yeah. What's going on in your world?
Oh, well, I'm continuing writing.
Yeah.
So the book's coming along. I might need someone to proofread it to tell me if it's coming along nicely or if it's just coming along.
Yeah.
And I am trying to get through all the Marvel movies in order based on the content of the film, not when it was made.
You're doing a weird thing. You're going through them chronologically and not when they were made. So you started with Captain America, didn't you?
Yeah, Captain America: The Last Avenger, and then Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And then I think it was the first two Iron Man movies.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Thor, and then the first Avengers movie, and now I'm on the third Iron Man movie.
Yeah, Don's looking confused right now. But
No. I was actually working out in my head that, you're right. I mean, according to the time period that the film is set in, right?
Yeah, because Captain America, the first Avenger, is based in the Second World War, I think.
Yeah.
And then Captain Marvel is set in 1995, and then from there on it's 2010.
Yeah.
And then
1995, the era of dial-up. What was that noise? The era of dial-up internet. You know what? I get quite. It's weird getting nostalgic about the sound, but I get quite nostalgic. I don't know about you, Don, because we're a similar sort of age, aren't we?
Yes.
I get nostalgic about the sound a Commodore 64 used to make when it loaded games, and it was this weird screech. Do you remember that, Don?
I do.
Yeah. Thank you for that more than accurate impression. The screech it used to make, and dial-up internet used to do something similar. Charlotte's looking at me going, she just hasn't got a call.
I'd get more frustrated with the internet than I do now if it made that sound every time.
What's your favourite binge watch at the minute, Don?
It's Ozark.
Now I've heard good things about that. Tell us a little bit about that.
Ozark is about a guy. I think he's like an accountant or financial.
I think he's a financial advisor, which is a bit worrying. But he's a really dodgy one, isn't he?
And he ends up money laundering for this Mexican cartel.
Can I just say there are ethical financial planners and advisors out there. Let's not like tar every financial planner with the same brush. I mean, there might be a few good ones. I haven't met them yet, but there might be a few good ones.
Yeah, so it's a bit like Breaking Bad, in that you've got this kind of like sort of regular guy that sort of turns into this kingpin of crime over a period of seasons. But it's fascinating just to see how mathematical and methodical he processes things.
Okay.
And also just this kind of descent into sort of like madness.
And it's a slow, like, is it like Breaking Bad where it's like step by step? It's not like an immediate descent. It just gets dragged into it.
Yeah, definitely, and the tension between him and his wife as well. So they've been pushed into a situation by circumstance, and then they sort of gradually get to love it and actually, go beyond where the original premise. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's definitely a binge watch.
That's on Netflix, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh, Cass is nodding in the background. Apparently, it's on her must-watch list. The one that I found yesterday, and the one that inspired today's question of the podcast, was Julian McDonnell has a YouTube channel called Jules Guides. Now, one of the things that I'm missing about lockdown is, and one of my favourite things to do, is just to wander around London, like spend a day wandering around London. It popped up on YouTube yesterday. I'd never seen the channel before, but Julian McDonnell and this website, this YouTube channel, Jules Guides, just shares amazing facts about London.
The Cleopatra's Needle.
Yeah, I mean, there was one little fact that I didn't know around on the river around Cleopatra's Needle. All of the benches, the sides of the benches, they've all got cats on. They've all got Egyptian cats on, and it's
sphinxes.
Sphinxes. Oh, and camels. So yeah, just this. You know when you think you know a place, and then you realise you definitely don't.
Yeah.
So that inspired this today's question in the podcast, which is, what is your favourite part of your favourite big city, and why? And we've got some London ones, but we've also got some really interesting answers from around the world. So we look forward to sharing that. So hi to our listeners, hi and viewers, hi to Steve and hi to Alan. If you wanted to answer the question, what is your favourite part of your favourite big city and why? That would be amazing. Don, what's your answer to that question?
Actually, I've got two. So I'm from a place called East Dulwich, South London, and there's this place called Ruskin Park, and I used to play there as a kid. I used to go and ride my bike as a kid, and it's got this wonderful kind of podium in the middle of the park.
Okay.
I've got some really fond memories of just just me on my bike, like racing around that park, and it's just got a very special meaning to me. And I think my second answer would be this place called Iporabira Park. I think it's in Sao Paulo in Brazil.
Okay.
And I've been there a couple of times through work and visiting friends. And it's just massive. It's massive. It's like a country within a country,
Right.
And then you just have people just roller skating, and they're very, very active. The Brazilians, and it's just a really fun place to go. So I definitely recommend both of those places once the lockdown finishes.
Yeah, I mean, the one in Brazil sounds good, but I'm not going south of the river, to be honest. So what's your answer? Please bear in mind that if you give an answer that is south of the river, I am not. What? You've got to have standards, Charlotte. You've got to have standards, and one of them is I'm not venturing too often south of the river. I go for Don. Clearly, I definitely go for Don, but there's not that many people I'd go south of the river for. Where's your favourite place in your favourite city in the world?
It's not really I don't know. So I like London, but I always have a thing for bookshops. So I'm gonna say. That bookshop we went to when we went to Hay, it's one of my favourite places in the world.
I mean, Hay
isn't really creeks and
Hay isn't really a city, is it? It's more of a Is it a village or is it a town? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Have you been to Hay on Wye in Wales, Don?
No, I've been to Neath, Port Talbot, Swansea, Cardiff, but not Hay.
Yeah, Charlotte and I went to the Hay Literary Festival a couple of years ago. The village of the town of Hay is just full of bookshops, and there's this one particular bookshop, isn't there?
Yeah, and it kind of it's got 3 floors, and one's underground, and then there's the middle one, and then you go upstairs. It's loads of old books, and And then there's just round the corner from that shop is a really funky ice cream place, and they sell really funky flavours.
Yeah, no, I like that. I mean, I think London. I'm really struggling to pick one place in London that I love, but I love walking in London. One place I think I definitely go back to, and has got really fond memories, is where we were last year, which is Tokyo.
Yes.
Electric Town in Tokyo is amazing, isn't it?
Well, you remember that the first arcade we went into, and we went up the elevator, and we stepped out, and the first thing you saw
Bishy Bashy Challenge.
Bishy Bashy Challenge.
There's. Have you ever heard of a game called Bishy Bashy Challenge, Tom?
Bishy Bashy Challenge.
Right, Google it. It's the best game ever. It's just amazing. It was the first game we saw in the first arcade in Tokyo, wasn't it?
It was the drum game, and you absolutely bossed that.
Yeah, that was good. So I think Tokyo, Electric Town in Tokyo, I've got fond memories of. And in London, I really struggle with that one. I like the city. I like tall buildings. So I think Sky Garden for me is probably probably one of the places I like. It's a nice place. You were going to share some random facts with us.
I was googling while you and Dom were talking for random facts. So
what's your favourite random fact, Dom?
Random facts. Oh, I'll have to come back to that.
Okay, fine.
Okay, number 1, Superman didn't always fly.
Really?
He looks so sad and disappointed. The original comic book Superman could leap tall buildings in a single bound, but then he had to come right back down to Earth because he didn't fly. It wasn't until the 1940s when the animators decided for a new animated series, decided it would be too difficult to routinely draw him bending his knees. It was decided that Superman could take off into the air.
That's a good superhero fact. I like that a lot.
So he couldn't originally fly. He just bounced.
And the reason is because of lazy animators.
Yeah.
I can't do any more knee bending animation, so I'm just gonna make
he
sure
flies now, man.
He flies. I want to move on to a regular slot in our show. Thank you again to Mr. Dave Forsdyke, who shared his silver linings with us again. So Dave's silver linings are currently... Do you want to do the first one?
Yep. Musicians can't go out and perform shows during the lockdown, so they're recording audio and video remotely and producing some fantastic results for us all to enjoy. Here's a few examples that have made me smile.
And Dave's given us a few links from the church it attends on a Sunday, the Emmanuel Church, the Riffraff Choir, the Studio Raps, and Retrotonic with Lean On Me, which is a really amazing song.
You know spring has definitely sprung when the bluebells appear. Yesterday I saw so many people posting pictures of bluebells on their Sunday walk. It was really uplifting. Here's a few from Walk in Kings...
And we'll put them in the show notes.
Including a very happy dog and a rather handsome fox.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing a lot more birds when I go for my daily run. You know, it's been a bit more...
Yeah, I mean, I've been wandering out further as well.
What are you doing to stay healthy, fit and healthy, Dom?
I'll go out for walks. Home workout. Try and dance around the flat.
A bit of dancing. You can't beat a bit of dancing.
Bit of dancing.
What do you dance to?
Oh, anything actually. I've been going through like a lot of old stuff, like the Rolling Stones and the Beatles, and just like random modern stuff as well. Kind of like hip hop, R&B, and just anything. I love exploring new music.
So here's a fact. Like, this is why I love that, and it just reminded me actually. Here's why I love that Jules walk. So he did one. He did a video based in Soho, and it was. I didn't know this. So the first Tom Jones's first ever song, like he got big with, was "It's Not Unusual." And David Bowie and his band apparently wrote "It's Not Unusual."
Wow.
And on the not on the one that got released. They were in Soho recording the sort of demo track, the sample track, to see whether the studio wanted it, and they didn't have a keyboard player, so they went to this bar in Soho and got a then unknown Reg White out of the bar to play keyboard. Like literally went in and said, "Can anybody play keyboard?" and managed to randomly, before he was known, get Elton John to do the piano on the demo version of It's Not Unusual. I mean, that is an amazing fact, right?
Yeah, it is,
Yeah, and again, like, sort of facts like that are brilliant. Enough about that. I want to talk to the band. Enough about that nonsense. I want to talk to Don about what he's up to. Now, I know you're a friend of the show, Don. We love you at the Kindness Project.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much to be back.
What I want to do is share your story with our audience. So tell us a little bit about you.
So my name's Don. I'm from South London, born and raised. I almost went into the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Feel free. I mean, we love that. We love that song. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, genuinely feel free. I'm going to be disappointed
I know all
there
the
if
words.
you don't.
On the playground is where I spend most of my day. Yeah.
In the park, clearly.
Yeah, and actually, by my professional background, I'm a medicinal chemist and a biopharmacist. So I've done like many years doing clinical research, and but what I am mainly known for is the founder of this platform called Do Me a Favor Buddy, and what we do is we match people together on the platform to do random acts of kindness. So neighbours helping neighbours, basically.
And where did that all start? Where did you come up with the idea?
It happened really from a personal experience that I went through, in that I basically received a letter one day from the landlord saying that my rent was going to be raised, and I couldn't afford to pay, and I was going to be made homeless basically in a matter of weeks. And it was really crazy because I just really didn't know what to do. Just by chance, basically a stranger, he's become a really good friend now, heard about this and actually helped me find a new flat to live in. And it was just unbelievable. It was really one of these just kind of chance things that he'd heard from another person who'd heard from another person, and basically got to him, and then he just decided to reach out to me and basically helped me find a place to live. I can't explain it any more than that. It was just really amazing. And then once he did do that, I mean, the only thing I could kind of thank him with was by cooking him a meal. So I invited him, to be the first guest in the new flat. And I basically asked him, like, why did you help me? Why would you help a stranger like this, And then he said to me very simply, if I help you, you help me, everybody happy. And this just kind of resonated with me that, I can kind of look at kindness as being something powerful. So I really kind of spent a lot of time in self-reflection and just sort of trying to test it out by going out and seeing if I could just do acts of kindness and seeing how I felt and seeing how the impact that I had on other people's lives. And it just really changed my
perspective.
I thought I wanted to democratize kindness in effect. So that's where the idea for Do Me a Favor Buddy came from.
And tell me about how Do Me a Favor Buddy works practically.
So you can do two things. You can either offer an act of kindness or you can request an act of kindness. And then you upload it to our system. And basically other people that are part of the community can nominate themselves to do the act of kindness or receive the act of kindness. It gets done. You get these karma points, and you can exchange these karma points for actually, swanky t-shirts like this, and we're hoping also in the future you'll be able to do other things like get discounts with local businesses. So, I mean, of course, we don't want to have a system where people are just doing acts of kindness to get things, but we're hoping that this will be an incentive for some people that need that kind of nudge.
Yeah, it's the gamification of it, and gamification can be a bit of a motivator, can't it? So that's good.
Yeah.
Which one are you pointing at?
I'm pointing at number 4. Would you like to ask question number 4?
Yeah. So I know you recently got involved with promoting Do Me a Favour Buddy at music festivals. So how did that go down?
Oh, amazing. Absolutely amazing. So we were invited to partner with this festival called the We Out Here Festival. And it's organised by this amazing DJ, presenter, just all around nice guy called Giles Peterson. And he wanted to create a music festival that was kind of like world music, jazz, modern jazz. But he wanted to have a very social element to it. So it's very family friendly, for one. It also is really friendly towards causes and charities and things like this. So we partnered with him. And what we managed to do is actually find volunteers that were going to help businesses such as Sleeppod, who build shelters for refugees and homeless people. So we actually, during the festival, we did a number of things. So we got volunteers for Sleeppod. We built 300 of these shelters for refugees and homeless people. It was incredible. And then we also shot a mini documentary on kindness where we were collecting stories from people. And we're also matching people there at the festival to do acts of kindness. So, I need help building a tent, or can somebody get me something from the shop? We found somebody a place to live. And also, we just kept really busy just going around promoting kindness. And we got some really good feedback. And we were giving away like swag to people that did acts of kindness for each other. It was amazing. I had such a good time.
Absolutely love it. Sorry, did you have a question?
No.
Oh, you didn't have a question?
No.
I've got a question. Do you think music festivals are quite a good environment to promote kindness? Because everybody's happy, the sun's shining,
Yes. Well, no, definitely. Because people, people are in a confined space. So, and they have to interact, and you've got the whole sort of, senses of being, around.
Part of a community, right?
I think people are just in a more happier mood to interact with each other. And we found that people were a lot more receptive than, say like an experiment that we did once where, we had a guy lifting a box on the street, and we had like a hidden camera, and we were just waiting for people to come and help him before we sort of did a like flash mob. But we found that, like, I think there we had like 9 people out of 12 actually helped this person. But just randomly asking people on the street for acts of kindness, it can be a bit tricky. It depends on the way that you approach people. But at festivals, you see people a lot more receptive to kind of thing.
So what's going on with Do Me a Favour Buddy now that we're all in lockdown?
Oh, well, it's funny that you say that. So we were changing the platform because we were going to concentrate more on festivals, We were in touch with all these festivals, even like Glastonbury, to see whether we could help. And so, of course, the We Out Here Festival invited us to come back. So this is all these things that we had in the works. And of course,
the game's changed now a bit, hasn't it? Yeah.
Everything has just gone. So we've actually concentrated on helping out within the crisis. So providing volunteers, having people looking out for each other. We did like flyers that people can hand out to their neighbors, so they can look out for them in case they've been isolating, or if they're lonely, if they need somebody to talk to, or go shopping or provide medication. So we've been working on that aspect. And then also we're actually producing these bands, these kind of like silicone bands, like the Live Strong thing that was popular years ago. And you can actually, when you're washing your hands, they change color. So it's a kind of reminder for you to wash your hands, and on them it says like stay at home, don't touch your face, be kind. So we're releasing these bands in the next few weeks or so, and we're hoping that definitely at least a third of the proceeds from the bands are going to go directly to the fight against the coronavirus. And also we're hoping to donate a large number of these bands to sort of people that are highly at risk, maybe like abroad in poor countries or indigenous communities, just to help them raise awareness as well. Because we're all in this together at the moment.
Yeah, you know what? It's really interesting how this like strange external threat has actually. I mean, we've had a conversation about this on the Kindness Project a few times. Has made in some ways people kinder to each other because we are literally all in it together, right?
Yes, we are. We are.
How do we maintain that feeling when this is all over?
That's really a good idea. I think I heard that Idris Elba was proposing that we have like a kind of lockdown week each year to sort of commemorate this. I think we just have to kind of build upon the relationships that we have now, and hopefully, I mean, even if we had a cure today, we'll still have to sort of adhere to social distancing, and so I think if we don't forget this time, we're all lucky. I mean, and unfortunately, some of us have lost people during this time. And I think it's the kind of wake up call for us really to say that life is so fleeting, and we have to look out for each other. It's better that we do it that way than we go back to the way that we were before. You know
what? 100%. That reminder that time is our most precious commodity is important, isn't it? Even if we've been spending it recently watching mainly Marvel movies, perhaps we should spend a little bit more positively. But I don't know. Do you want to ask another question?
So, what does the future hold for Do Me a Favour, Buddy?
Well, immediately, actually, we're also looking into whether we should feature contact tracing within our app. So to help people identify if they've been exposed to the virus, and also, to give them advice on whether they need to seek help or isolate themselves. So we're looking into that at the moment, based off of the technology that's been made available by Singapore. But I think, actually, we're just going to really beef things up in terms of being able to match people to do acts of kindness, and just to make it as seamless as possible, so that people don't have to think about it. And just build upon this experience that we're experiencing at the moment to promote kindness and the world around us.
And where can people find out more about the platform and more about the work you do?
Well, I think mainly the platform itself, which is www.dmafb.me, and also follow us on Instagram, which is dmafbme. And we've got lots of tips and different things that we do each day promoting kindness. We're really big on our memes and stuff like that, just to try and keep people's spirits up. And also just, reach out to me if you've got any ideas, and or you'd like to collaborate, or anything that you'd like to see on the web platform itself. I'm completely open.
Amazing. That was brilliant, as always. And I've got to say a personal thanks. You helped us out massively on the Kindness Project by interviewing us
for our 100th episode.
So thanks for coming down, helping us out. Clearly, thanks for the best T-shirt in my wardrobe at the minute. I mean, to be fair, it's not difficult to be the best item of clothing in my wardrobe, because some of my shirts are absolutely horrendous.
I love those shirts. Don't be rude.
Yeah, I mean, you're rocking quite a good shirt today. I quite like it. Thank you. Little flick of the hair.
I had it printed.
Are we just one quick random question? We were talking earlier about haircuts. How are you getting on with? Have you resorted to home barbering yet? Because I'm not there yet.
Not yet. But I will have to. I mean, it's a bit of a mess at the moment. It's a bit of a forest. So I think I'm going to have to invest in a pair of home clippers to
take it all off.
Clear the wall off.
Yeah. Clear the wall. Right, so we've got some answers to this week's question of the podcast. Today's question of the podcast.
Still not used to it.
And we've got some amazing answers. If you are watching live, there's still time to answer the question of the podcast, which is, what is the best part of your favourite part of your favourite city in the world? Hi to Des, Tracy, Mark, Simon, Jess, Brenda, Tina, Natasha, Jess, who are all watching. Hi, how you doing? Hope you're well. Feel free to answer. What's the favourite part of your favourite city in the world? Helen Westwood was the first one to answer this. Now, Helen is coming on one of my... Not like I've just got a business to run and like other stuff to do, but what we've done, Don, is started a live show for my business as well called Savello Live.
Say it like it's both.
Oh, yeah, Charlotte is involved. She's head of tech. Where we try and, because I think when this started, I thought one of the things that I could potentially help with is certainly while people are going through some money worries, is to try and answer some financial concerns. So we launched Savello Live. We do it once a week. It's a Thursday morning show, and we've had guests from like accountancy, HR. We've got a will writer and estate planner on tomorrow, just to help people answer some of the practical financial questions they might be going through at the minute. And Helen is going to be a guest on the show next week. Now, interestingly, the reason I wanted Helen on is because she is an award-winning teacher. And she's a teacher who won awards for financial education. Hey Don, you haven't got any kids, have you?
No.
Yeah.
Not yet.
If you'd like to borrow a couple, just give me a shout. But one of the challenges I think of this situation is making sure you're doing as much as you can to educate your kids. So Helen is going to come on the show next week and talk about how to educate kids in this environment generally, but also how to educate them about money more specifically. And I, for one, need all the help I can get. so that'll be a good show. But Helen said to us, Orchard, her favourite part of the city, in a favourite city in the world, is Orchid Gardens in Singapore. I love Orchids, and it's such a magical place. I was lucky enough to take my mum there on the way to New Zealand, and she enjoyed a Singapore sling in Raffles Hotel. It had to be done. Charlotte Richards on Twitter said, walking through the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin, worth it for the symbolism of freedom. Symbolism. Then we had Patrick Floyd, who says, any city that has a medieval section, so it's not all grids, you'll find fascinating books and corners, and that's why I love the city of London, Edinburgh, York, Norwich and Seville, to name a few. You know what I'd add to that list? Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik is a tiny little city, but definitely worth a visit.
It's known for Game of Thrones, isn't it?
You know what? I did it is known for Game of Thrones, and when I was over there, I did the Game of Thrones tour, and Cassie wasn't into Game of Thrones at all. So she there was on the day that we went, there was a food festival, and literally I did my Game of Thrones tour, and apparently Dubrovnik is a place where most of the population of Dubrovnik every day is tourists, because not that many people live there, but because of Game of Thrones and because it is beautiful, I think about 10 million tourists visit Dubrovnik every year. So most people in Dubrovnik. And I got back from my Game of Thrones tour. Cassie said to me, literally, this food festival was just like, people were like grabbing all the food, and the only thing she could grab was 2 burgers and quite a lot of wine, which she'd managed to get halfway through by the time I got there. Now, I'm in a lot of trouble for telling that story. Let me tell you now, Don. The looks that I'm getting from the other side of the lounge aren't great. I've got to be really careful about what stories I tell in the future. What other embarrassing stories could I... No, let's not even go there.
Don't. Why?
Anyway, Alison Haggart, what's your favourite, like... Have you been to Dubrovnik, Don?
Yes. And I I did the tour as well, and it was interesting to see how things that you see on the screen, and then like you're there in real life, you know, and you're going like, especially that place where the whole like the shame scene.
Yeah, the steps. Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
And you find yourself going shame, 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 shame as you're walking down these steps. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I did the walk of shame. They weren't happy about me getting naked, but you know, whatever. Alison, I didn't. Just to be clear, that was a joke. I didn't get naked in Dubrovnik.
I'm not.
It was actually Cassie after the wine. Alison Hagen, I'm in so much trouble. Alison Hagen said, Lawn 33 of the Royal Botanical Gardens in Sydney. It's where I got married, and it's got an amazing view of Sydney Opera House framed by the Harbour Bridge. That sounds incredible. I haven't been to Sydney, but it's certainly on my list. Have you been, Dom?
No, not yet. That's definitely going on my list as well.
Cool. Victor is definitely picking London as his favourite city, and he says Jermyn Street, Burlington Arcade, Burlington Bertie statue, Fortnum's, just my kind of heaven, really. So yeah, that's a part of London that that Victor really loves. Sean's son, Sean Acton's son, said, my son Liam said his favourite place is Concert Square in Liverpool. Sean's favourite place, and one of my favourite places in London, is Borough Market. I could wander around Borough Market all day.
Nice.
Yeah.
On a Saturday, brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's really good. We've got a tradition in our family that New Year's Day, New Year's Eve. So I'm getting corrected. We always go down Borough Market in the morning, don't we? Yeah, it's good. Amardeep sings kept it simple. My home. Do I need to give a reason for it? And Justin Gaffney said London again, from Tower Bridge to Westminster Bridge, among the South Bank waterside at night because it's beautiful. The lapping of old Mother Thames, I quite like that phrase. The magnificence of the architecture and seeing across the river to the city and St Paul's. It just personifies why London is the greatest city in the world.
I do like the South Bank.
Yeah, South Bank's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Joe Treadgold said South Queensferry part of Edinburgh, particularly the Falls Bridge. Do you want to do a couple, Charlotte?
Oh, sure. Karina Murray, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Don't want to butcher anyone's name. I'm like, very... London people are diverse and not afraid of being different. In fact, if you don't like people different to you, you are the minority. That's my experience anyway. That's
one of the things I love about London. It's so diverse. It's amazing. Sarah Robinson said St Catherine's Dock and walking along the South Bank.
Oh.
Wow.
I do like the South Bank.
Makes me very nostalgic, yeah.
Yeah.
Hayley Balls said, what I love about London is that there's always normally something going on. The light festivals in the winter, the different sets of statues and things in the better weather. Me, Lauren Ball and John Cook went looking for the elephant statues.
Yeah, and there's always...
There's always something going on.
When you were younger, we did Paddington and stuff like that.
That was...
Hazel Grace went for... And again, apologies for butchering this pronunciation. Bhutannath in Kathmandu, one of the largest stupas in the world. In amongst the noise and chaos of Kathmandu, there is this peaceful place. Best times are first thing in the morning or at sunset, and I go there to chill and clear my head and just marvel at its beauty. Louise McNamee said Camps Bay in Cape Town or anywhere in Havana, and Steve Stewart said the home of football for him, St James's Park in Newcastle.
I was just thinking about when we were in Japan and we spent that day wandering around Tokyo, and everywhere you went you could see the Godzilla statue.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. I mean, Tokyo is amazing. This time last year, Charlotte.
Do you remember that sign? It was made entirely out of cogs, and it kept spinning and spinning. And when it span back round, you could read the name of the shop.
I think this time last year we were just about to get on a bullet train, and Charlotte said to me, I got really excited about bullet trains. Like I'm not normally a train geek. I'm geeky about a lot of stuff, but I'm not normally a train geek. And I said, look at the amazing engineering that goes into bullet train. And Charlotte just looked at me and said, calm down, mate. When we get home, are you going to be looking at the 832 to Crewe in a loving light? I was like, no, the bullet train is amazing. The bullet train is amazing, right, Don? Back me up here, mate.
Yeah, I mean, the technology is fascinating. How it's so engineered and, runs like clockwork.
And since being back, I haven't become a train spotter, so that's all good. Thank you for all your contributions to this. Yeah.
I have one final.
Now in the coffee, we've on the live version of the Kindness Project, Don. We always finish with a joke from Charlotte. Get ready to be either impressed or massively underwhelmed. Are you ready?
I am. I'm gearing up. I'm ready.
Okay. Why did the runner stop listening to music?
I don't know.
She broke too many records.
I don't know why you're clapping, Don. That definitely doesn't deserve a clap. And on that note, my friends, we'll see you next time.